What's up, solutionaries? Lot of work to do. It's about to get warm outside in Philly. We opening the shop in about a week or two, maybe a month. Just want to touch base with everybody, give some energy to this live. I'm still blocked from going live on my main page, as well as the official Black Guns Matter page is also. I had to put it on do not disturb real quick. So everyone, want to jump on real quick and holler at y'all real quick about if you've noticed on my main page, I've been getting at a little bit of the fake conservatives a little bit. And when I'm talking about fake conservatives, first of all, I'm not talking about any women. I don't address or debate women. It's not my thing. I leave women arguing, women fighting, all of that. I leave that to women. I don't argue with women. First of all, you're gonna be a tired person trying to fight and win an argument against a woman. That's just what it's gonna be. But I think outside of that, I think men should address men and women should address women. I'm old school in that regard. This does not mean that I think that women are not capable of having conversations with men, or men aren't capable of having conversations with women. I just don't do it. So I just want to clarify. Anytime I'm talking about these statists and bootlickers, fake conservatives, people presenting or identifying as conservatives and talking about how they do exactly the same thing as the left does. They cherry pick, they argue, they do the same thing. They just on, the opposite end of that political spectrum. Okay. When I'm talking about those people, I'm talking about males. Okay. I gotta say males because, there's a certain level of manhood. There's certain things you just wouldn't do. If every time you see one of these statists, they got something to say about women, especially if they black and especially if they talking about black women, that tells you something. There's a certain level of manhood, the stillness or the ability to let women have women stuff, that's missing from them. And so I gotta say male, because they are males. Okay. So that's that. Now, when people say, well, why don't you name names? I do name names. I'm talking about the people that come up with the trivial bullshit that don't have really nothing to ever say positive about anybody in the black community. And they're dealing with some serious self-hate issues, okay? Brandon Tatum is one of those people. It's just what it is. He's soft. And in the beginning, when he invited me to come do the Blexit, I didn't really know much about him. I'm not really, this has become a weakness of mine, right? I don't really know who got beef with who or whatever. Sometimes somebody invite me to come do a podcast that got 5 listeners. If I'm free that day, I'll do it because the message is the message. For a very long time, a few years back, I didn't know who liked who, didn't, who beefing with who's doing the work, who's not. You got a platform, you ask me to come to do something, I'll get there myself. I'm not really tripping, okay? With that being the case, these guys have serious self-hate issues. Now, don't get me wrong. I love and respect all ethnicities. You an asshole to me if you an asshole. You can be white and be an asshole. You can be black and be an asshole. I don't care. White women there's some hot white women, light skinned, so I don't care who anybody loves, who anybody's married to, whatever. However, when you start to pick one group of people, not based on, while picking that person or group of people, then disrespecting another group. So if you a black dude or a white dude and you just got nothing to say good about white women and you praising black women all the time, there's some self-hate issues going on there. Okay? And that's just what it is. And that's in reverse too. If you're a black dude, you marry or only date white women, and you only got negative stuff to say about black women, there's a self-hate issue going there. Now again, who you put your sexual organs inside of, I don't give a fuck. When that translates into other arenas where you are being presented because of your popularity, you are being presented as what it means to be a black conservative, that's where I have to step in. Conservatism has nothing to do. Frederick Douglass was the top tier Hall of Fame A1 ballot checklist of conservative. Frederick Douglass married a black woman and Frederick Douglass married a white woman. Okay? Frederick Douglass was on point. Frederick Douglass did not have a hatred for black people. Frederick Douglass was conservative. The conservative movement does themselves a disservice by not highlighting him because, this part is my opinion, because then it shows that you can be conservative while addressing serious issues that go on in the black community, okay? The war on drugs was a target for the black community. Anybody that says, well, it's illegal now. Legal and moral are two different things. So a person, especially an ex-law enforcement officer, right? He's not a law enforcement officer. An ex-law enforcement officer that says, well, it's just a law. That's the same type of goofy motherfucker that will follow the slavery codes because it was the law at a certain time, when all of the founding fathers were technically breaking the law to create America. Okay, so these guys aren't very smart. Brandon Tatum is not very smart. And during that time when he invited me, and again, I was never invited back by him, I smashed that crowd. I smashed it because that's what I do. I get on stage and I give people what they need. I'm entertaining and informative, and I'm personable. He's a square, okay? So after that, he never invited me back to the Youth Black Leadership Summit. I didn't start to have issues with him until about a year or so ago, and that was about 2 or 3 years ago at this point. I didn't have issues with him until I noticed that he kept attacking black people. Now, let me insert this. Black people. Just because you are black does not give you a pass, and black people aren't asking for passes on anything, okay? But I have to say this because somehow a lot of these so-called conservatives that are not conservative, again, the litmus test, if you're not striving to be like Frederick Douglass, an abolitionist to anything unjust in any community, if you're not attempting or aspiring to be that, then you should really reevaluate your model of what you're calling, or what your blueprint of what a conservative is, right? Just saying repetitive stereotypes that have been debunked and talking points that have been debunked for white conservative approval or incorrect conservative approval does not make you conservative. It doesn't. It makes you a motherfucker repeating a wrong talking point, okay? So I have to go back and touch base on the fact that this isn't about, black people wanting and not being held accountable. That's some shit that those type of guys say to justify it, to tap dance and get pats on the head for some small amount of conservatives that may be powerful, right? And that's wrong. Black people ain't running around like we just don't want any type of accountability. That's fucking stupid. Majority. Every group of people has idiots in it, right? He made a statement a while ago saying that 98% of black people are raising thugs. It's literally a video. This is the type of shit he says. Dude's a clown. And I want to be very clear that my association with him was cut off by me because I started to see how much clown shit and vitriol he had for black people. Holding a community accountable while attempting to fix the state-sponsored bullshit that has put some of these communities in this predicament is more conservative than just saying, oh, y'all ain't shit. 98% of y'all are thugs and and I feel safer around white people. That speaks to your insecurity. Nobody in the black community is like, yeah, violence all the time. No. Black people in the communities want to be left alone to do whatever the fuck they want. But because there's over-policing in these communities, black, brown, yellow, Asian, poor, middle-class communities, right? Because there's over-policing for things that shouldn't be unlawful in the first place, then you want to say, oh yeah, that's why they all of the crime. Listen, y'all. These guys are goofballs. These guys are goofballs. These guys are fucking goofies that are lame. They square. They squares. They was never cool. They not cool now. And they tap dance for bigoted so-called conservative approval, just like leftists tap dance for white liberals, tap dance for black liberal approval. It's the same shit, just on different ends of the spectrum. White liberals tap dance for black approval, democratic approval, right? Just like these dudes tap dance for white conservative approval. It's the same shit, okay? These things are not conservative. Now, why am I talking about this? Because I want to be clear on the distinction between people that are actually putting in work for independent thought, for liberty, for conservative values and principles. I challenge us all to hold these people. You might, because I know a lot of y'all that follow me, follow him. I challenge us all to really look at not only just what the rhetoric, right? But also see what solutions are these people actually at least attempting to present. Berating a group, that a small section of that group that is doing the wrong thing, and grouping the vast majority of that group of people in that isn't a solution. It's problematic. And it's one of the things that keeps the vast majority of black people that would be interested in understanding or learning a little bit more about conservative principles. These goofballs are highlighted as what it is, but not a Frederick Douglass. So I want to challenge us all that may follow some of these types, right? To genuinely critique them when they say this type of dumb shit. When they constantly say things like Ahmaud Arbery deserved it. You know, King Face, before his so-called death, said Ahmaud Arbery's a dickhead. These are the same, and mind you, King Face is, supposedly dead now, right? These are the same. Brandon Tatum is like, don't talk about nobody in death. But then as soon as Ahmaud Arbery dies, you talk shit about him. These are the things that, the reason why I go so hard on these goofball types, because they're in it for, you see their platforms. They're in it for the millions of bigoted people that, even if it's 2 million bigots in America, right? That's a big number when it comes to a YouTube following, but it's a small number compared to the over 300 million Americans that actually don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? And so these guys are like the NRA. The gun owners in the world, in America, there's 100 million that we know of, 100 million gun owners in America. The NRA usually has about 4, maybe 5 million members. They're not interested in getting the other 90, 95 million gun owners because they want to cater to that 4 or 5 million that are FUDs. So they keep the rhetoric right within this like fear mongering so they can fundraise. These guys do the same thing. They're not actually trying to get more people on the conservative movement and actually win. They don't want more black people to start voting more right of center and making fiscal, social, political, conservative, and libertarian choices. They'd be out of a job. So I want to make sure that we clear on why I'm going at these goofballs. And I want to make sure that it's clear that I've said, all right, let's debate. You pick the issue. Last year I told them at the Solutionary Summit, I'll put up $50,000. You put up $50,000. The winner take all. They said the Solutionary Summit They said the Solutionary Summit wasn't going to happen because of the pandemic. We deliberately kept the Solutionary Summit within a small amount so we wouldn't scare and we still could pull it off. And we did it. Now this year, I'm telling him, I got $100,000 in cash for a debate. And he picked the issue, Ahmaud Arbery's death, the black community and the statistics that he unnecessarily spews, hatred towards black people, whatever he wants to say, right? He can do that. And I got the 100 in cash. He got to put up cash, though. I ain't doing no fucking IOUs, right? But these guys say all of this stuff, and they constantly berate and attack dead people, dead black people, make excuses for when law enforcement are wrong, and they're not always wrong, right? They're not always wrong. But when they are wrong, he rushes to defend them, and he's a clown. So we can debate these issues at any given moment, but he attacks women. Then when I check him on it, he quiet as a church mouse. Don't got nothing to say. I want everybody to go on Angela Stanton King's YouTube page. She's going to go live in a little bit and talk about how yet again he's talking about her. Addressing women. That's coward shit. It's coward shit. He's a coward. When I'm actually saying, like, you're a clown, let's debate the issues, we can shake hands after I take your $100,000, and we could do that. But no, they quiet when it comes to the real black man, the real white men, real Asian men, real Spanish men. They get mighty conservative men of all of those different ethnicities. They get real bitch made and quiet. Bitch shit. So I just want to be clear on that, yo. Why I make it a point to occasionally create the distinction between real conservatives like Adrian Norman, like Jeff on the right, like let me see who else comes to mind, like Rich Valdez, and I'm naming men, right? Like Lieutenant Colonel Allen West, like really solid men that really have put work in to share and expand on conservative principles and liberty-minded principles. You know what I mean? These are the people that I'm saying that we have to create these clear distinctions from. And I'm more specifically talking for the black community, because if these people are continued to be highlighted, we have more work to do, because they actually say things that repulse black and brown communities, which makes them think that, oh, you gotta be, that's what you gotta be like to be Republican or be conservative or vote Republican or vote independent or vote libertarian. And it's not the case. You know what I'm saying? And so I just wanted to say that, and give everybody a little bit of backdrop on why because some people are like, damn, Maj, you going hard on them, what they do. They didn't do anything to me. They run away from me. They scared. They scared of me. They know what time it is with me. You know what I'm saying? And I give people that understanding because I don't want people to feel like I'm just being a bully. I'm not being a bully. I am actually standing up for people while informing people that they would repulse to make all of our jobs in the conservative and libertarian movement. We need these urban centers to break out of the duopoly. And if we want them to break out of the duopoly, first we got to get them out of the Democrat shit. But they do nothing other than be repulsive and speak to their choir. They do nothing to coax people to understand what the libertarian message is, what the conservative message is, to actually make people go, they not red pilling people. They just berating people, and most of their audience is white conservatives that don't know no better, that never fucking read anything about Frederick Douglass, that know nothing about another conservative and movement person, Marcus Garvey. Know nothing about these people. You understand? So my point in this live is to just clarify this. And I'm going to keep picking on these motherfuckers as long as they keep saying the incorrect shit towards my fucking community. Still don't do no fucking work in the community. I will fall back a bit if they actually did some work, but they don't. Now, the last person that I'll address is Candace Owens. I have no issue with Candace Owens. Candace Owens don't go as hard as a Brandon Tatum. And Candace has never said anything disrespectful to me. Never. Or about me. And again, if you're just tuning in, I don't argue with women. I don't argue with women or debate women. I don't do that. You know who should have a debate? I would love to see Tommy Lahren and Candace Owens have a debate. I would like to see Angela Stanton King and Candace Owens have a debate on the issues. But I want to be clear. I'm not this person just running around going to attack. You know what I'm saying? I got clean nostrils. I'm not just running around going to attack other black men just because it's a low-hanging fruit. No. You know what I mean? I think that some of the goofy shit that Charlie Kirk, he follows me. It's certain shit that he said, and I'm like, Kirk, you tripping. But Kirk makes it about BLM and their media narrative. He don't go out and be like, yeah, the black community's da-da-da-da. He don't do that. And that's what's even more fucked up. It's always a black person, not always, but in this instance, it's a black dude constantly berating the black community, and he don't do no work in there. Fucking Charlie Kirk say shit that I totally disagree with, right? He's a statist, right? But he don't fucking like attack the black community like fucking Brandon Tatum does. And that's why I'm picking on these people. That's why I think these soft motherfuckers run and hide away, from me, because they know what it is with me. You know what I mean? And so, open invite for him to come to the Solutionary Summit. I got 100 on me, you know what I'm saying, in cash. I ain't tripping. But he's scared. They gonna tweet. Little goofball Bryson going tweet some shit, but they ain't gonna put no, Bryson broke, he ain't gonna put no money up, right? And this is not to knock anybody that don't have $100,000 to just bet on something. We had different games. I'm talking about people that talk all that big shit. Don't talk that fucking big shit if you can't back it up. These same people ironically say they back Trump up and they support Trump. Trump bet big on himself for 40, 50 years at this point. Y'all motherfuckers, if you don't got the money, just say you don't got the money, right? But don't talk that big shit like you selling all of this merch in the world and you ain't. Because I don't see nobody running around with it on. I don't. Don't talk that big shit. And then I say, come on, put 100 up. Then you like, let's do it for free. All right, no, I'm a free market capitalist. But I want to be clear. Bryson broke, he ain't got 100. But he gonna tweet some little smart mouth shit. And the fucking Tatum dude, he gonna keep riding Candace's coattails. And he gonna try to ignore me. He might say something here and there. But they don't want this real smoke with actual solid men that know what they're talking about, can articulate the points effortlessly, and will trash them. So I just had to give everybody an understanding of a few of those things. I have no issue with Candace Owens. I've done her show. She was super respectful. I like Candace. That's just what it is. I like her. I disagree with her. I don't really like Brandon. He's a goofball. And he goes out of his way to attack a community. What Candace doesn't do, Candace don't consistently berate as much as. And again, if there's conservative women that want to give her that smoke for that where they disagree, they're welcome to do it. I don't argue or debate with women. I just don't do it. You know what I mean? But I just want to create them distinctions. I want to create a clear understanding of why, I think Tatum's a goofball, and why I want us to be more clear on the people that we can get behind and support. You know what I'm saying? Is because of the fact that there's a bunch of conservative people. My man Marcus Allen Weldon in here is building some shit in Detroit to teach trades. That's conservative. Go follow my man Marcus Allen Weldon, right? That's a conservative. Do for self. That's what he doing. Go follow him. Go follow Jeff on the right. The people that go follow my man Adrian Norman. You know what I mean? Give them people that highlight. Go follow Sonny Johnson. Go follow Angela Stanton King. Keep pushing and retweeting and promoting and highlight those people and put them at the top of the pack. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do in that space, as opposed to just arguing with these goofballs, unless you're going to get some bread off of it. Unless you're going to use those resources from the bread when you trash these people to strengthen your community. No one can deny my level of commitment. I gave away over $400,000 to, to empower my community in the lane that I work for. I show up and do people's podcasts and shows and events, and a lot of times don't even be charging them. I get $5,000 as an event, but sometimes I don't even be charging cats. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying to y'all is, let's continue to highlight the voices that are actually doing the work. Shakim, over on my Twitter page, I got a community center down in South Carolina. Let's highlight those people. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, critique. If you still want to follow those guys, you can. But after this conversation alone, you're going to see the difference. You're going to see that they don't actually do anything for the communities. They don't do shit for white communities. You know what I mean? And so start calling them to task. And when you start seeing that, just unfollow. Just unsubscribe. Stop watching their shit. Stop fucking with them. They're not helping our conservative and libertarian fight at all. They don't help. And so some people in saying, well, Maj, why you check them? I check them because I have to, because I want to make sure that clear distinction is there. You feel what I'm saying? Real number 9, you always say we need me an Uncle Tom too. Did you talk to Larry Elder? Because I got some smoke for him too. I got some critical words. I know that's your godfather or uncle or something like that, but I can't let that OG, and he is our elder, I can't let him slide with how he handled that disinviting me from the Uncle Tom premiere the first time. So I can't in good faith and all good consciousness, agree to do something and he ain't really set that right. That ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I got respect I'm doing an event with Alan West in June. You know what I'm saying? And so, saying that to say, y'all, I just wanted to give that critique. I'm going to save this. Support. Go get some merch. Hit the link in the bio. Support the work of arming and educating about safe and responsible gun ownership in urban America. All people in urban America need this Black Guns Matter work. Your donations goes to keeping these classes free. I've already given the money away. I ain't holding on to it. The money that I make, I got several businesses moving around Philadelphia on the low. So can't nobody hate on it. You know what I'm saying? So my money's my money. But the people's money that y'all give is the people's money. And I've been very meticulously giving all of that shit away. So go support whichever way y'all can. Hit the link in the bio. Share this live to your motherfucking stories. Share it all over the place. Let's highlight those conservative and liberty voices that don't feel like you can't be critical of the Black community without berating the Black community. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Be safe. Be solutionary.